the most precious thing that we have within ourselves. The preciousness of your spirit is immeasurable, and that's why it is called as a thing of eternal value, because it is infinite. You cannot measure. Now, God, the Almighty, we say, is Sat Chit Anand. Sat means the truth. The truth we understand in human terminology is relative. But the Sat I am telling you is the absolute from where all the relations start. Example, I'll tell you how to understand. This earth has got oceans and rivers and all kinds of waters, you can say. But earth is enveloping all of them. If the Mother Earth was not there, there could not have been any of these existing. So we can say that Mother Earth is the support of all the things that exist on her. She is enveloping us. In the atoms she exists. In the big mountains she exists. Because the elements are part of that earth. In the same way, God Almighty, the Sat part of Him, the truth, is the support of all the things that are created or not created. Another example you try to understand. How the Sat is the Purusha, is the God, who does not take actual part in the creation itself, but is a catalyst. The example can be like this, that I am doing all the work, I am creating everything, but I have a light in my hand. Without the light, I cannot do anything. Light is the support of my work. But the light does not in any way do anything about what I do. In the same way, God Almighty is just a witness, like a light. But his another quality is his chitta, is his attention. When it is excited, in Sanskrit there's a very good word, spurana, is pulsates. When it pulsates, his attention when it pulsates, then through his attention he starts creating. And he has third quality which we call as Anand. Anand is the feeling of joy that he gets by his perception, by his creation. The joy that he gets. All these three things, when they are at a 0 point where they meet, then they become the principle of Brahma, where these three things are one, where there is complete silence. Nothing is created, nothing is manifested, but the joy is one with the attention. Because attention has reached and merged into joy, and joy has become one with the truth. This combination of three qualities separate and create three types of phenomena. The Anand, the joy, in God, moves with his creation and with the truth. When the joy starts moving with the creation starts moving down from first the truth stage to asat, from sat to untruth, to maya, to illusion. And that time the creation starts on the right hand side. The creative forces start working out, and when it starts working out, the joy in it, which is on the left hand side, is the emotional side of God, also starts becoming grosser and grosser. The creation starts becoming grosser, and the joy in it also starts becoming grosser. And the Sat, the light of God, also starts becoming grosser and grosser and grosser, till they reach a stage where there is, we can say, a complete darkness of Tamoguna, the complete creation of the creativity, and the complete sleeping of the joy element. Clearer? You understand now Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati. That's why Christ said, I am the light. Because he represents the Sat, the light of God. And light of God becomes absolutely gross, dormant, dead when it reaches the seventh stage of creation. All these things go deeper and deeper, becoming grosser and grosser. That's one part of the parabole. Now the another part of the parabole starts when you are ascending back to God Almighty. That grossness now gradually starts becoming higher and higher, subtler and subtler, and finer and finer. In that refinement, you find ultimately the light works for the evolutionary process. Gradually, the grosser parts start becoming enlightened. You find a lower animal is not that much enlightened as the higher animal is. gradually even the joy starts becoming subtler, and we can call it beautiful. Human joys are much more beautiful than that of animals. So the joys also start changing their manifestation, in the sense you start seeing more and wider range of joy comes into your hand. For example, to a dog, beauty has no meaning. Decency has no meaning. So at a stage when you are a human being, to that extent you develop your sat, which is awareness. To that extent you also develop your joy, and to that extent you also develop your creative action. Now you see how the creativity of God passes into the hand of man when he turns round. How the joy of God passes into the hand of man, and how his light comes into the heart of man as spirit. It's beautiful. And at that stage, when you have become a human being, people say human beings have a soul. Not that others do not have, but the light starts burning in a human being only. Because of that light, we talk of religion, we talk of God, and we talk of eternal things. But it's a very precarious stage that is to be human beings. Because at this stage, you have to jump only a little bit that side while you start jumping this side and that side. Because this jumping is not possible unless and until the awareness reaches that stage where you become independent, and in that independence you find your own glory. This is the position. Because your glory cannot be yours unless and until you are independent. As long as you are slaves or under bondage of something that is gross, how can you enjoy that eternal joy that is within you? So it is for you to expose yourself more to that joy by opening out yourself more and more, getting subtler and cleaner, so that you feel that joy. Once you know this point, that after getting self-realization, unless and until these three things start merging together, you cannot feel that you have established yourself. The joy within you must be felt through your awareness, otherwise you cannot feel it. Supposing you had no eyes, how can you see? If you were not aware to see me, how will you feel me? If you are not aware to feel me, how can you see me? If you are not aware to hear me, how can you understand me? And once that awareness comes to you, then only the joy awakens within you. Because only through these subtle feelings of awareness you are going to absorb the joy. As just now you felt him and you said, oh, what a beautiful thing it is. You felt very happy. You are feeling the joy of this creation that is taken. And man is the summit of creation. But only the crowning part is such a little thing. Very little it is. It's a very little distance. It crosses in no time. But only thing is that these three things have to be combined. And that's why I find that even you get realization, you do not feel the silence because you have not become the light. You do not feel the joy because you have not become the Anand. That is the left side of yourself. In everything there is joy. As human being only you start seeing joys in the patterns. You see a tree bark, you open it out, you see the patterns. You call it the veneer, you call it the roughness and the smoothness and the harmony of it. You start seeing in the matter the joy of its creation. But now, after realization, you start feeling the joy of creation. The summit of creation is the human being. And that's why for a Sahaj yogi, you must realize that if he tries to be, say, friendly or interested or involved in a person who is at a lower level, he can never get joy from that person. Only thing what he can do is to raise that person higher to his own level and make him also feel the same joy as you are getting. Supposing a man who is an artist marries a blind girl, what's the use? She cannot enjoy the art created by this man. In the same way, if you are interested, say, in your family people, in your relations, in your friends, the first thing and the highest and the greatest thing that you can give is to give them self-realization, means the joy of your spirit. Expose them to the joy of their spirit, which is the most precious thing. And this is the reason why people flicker and they fiddle and they feel uneasy. They lose their joy very easily at the small thing that has constantly finished. It's like the ocean before you, and I am there and I want you all to come into and enjoy. It is all for you. The whole thing was created for your enjoyment. You have to become subtler and subtler. We are wasting a lot of time here on very gross things. You have noticed it.